is Charletta McInnis, and I'm running for mayor of Detroit.
Please share your Detroit background and relationship to Detroit. Your history of being a Detroiter.
Well, again, my name is Charletta McInnis. I was born and raised in the city of Detroit. I was raised on the northeast side off of 7 Mile and I-75. I'm a daughter of a single mother. She was a blue-collar worker. She worked in the factory, as well as was a cosmetologist, and she cleaned offices in the evening. So she was a single mother that was working 3 jobs. And I went to Osborne High School, graduated from Osborne in class of '88, and I'm a single mother of 5 children, 3 biological sons, and I was a guardian of 2, and I was a teen mother. And I currently still have a teenager right now. My other 4 children are over 30, and I have been working for the city of Detroit for 18 and a half years in the budget department.
Tell the story of what led you to run for office.
What led me to run for office, for one, like I said, I was a teen mother, and I know the struggles that's going on in the city, and my heart is aching for our citizens. And just by knowing and seeing what's going on in our communities and in our neighborhoods, and our citizens are not getting the support that they should. And our citizens really need someone that can provide them with some type of hopes and dreams that can change their perspective of what's going on. I want to be that mayor that can support our citizens. I was a teen mother. I had support. A lot of our single parents out here didn't have the support. There were teen mothers and some single mothers that once they didn't get the support that they need, they end up dropping out of school to try to raise their families without any support. I want to make sure that those individuals can get their high school diploma or their GEDs so they can improve their quality of life. And no other mayor have been there to help the actual residents. Downtown is beautiful, but we need to help our citizens as well as our communities, and no other mayor has done that.
What is your understanding of the duties of the office you are running for?
Well, like I said, I've been working for the city for 18 and a half years in the budget department as a budget manager. And I know that you have to make sure that our neighborhoods and city services are done properly, as well as make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do, clean up trash, policing, safety for our citizens, making sure that we have employment, taxes, assessments. Just you want to make sure that you have a world-class city, and that hasn't been done.
Are you familiar with and what is your position on the Detroiters' Bill of Rights?
On the Detroiters' Bill of Rights, that's something I got to familiarize myself with a little bit more, and that's one of my goals. I want to make sure I know the actual Bill of Rights for our citizens.
What is your position on water shutoffs and water affordability in the city of Detroit?
Well, water affordability, everyone should have the right to water. But since I do work in the budget department, I know that you just can't have free water because of what we have to do with the plants, the water, processing plants. We have to have some type of charge because we couldn't afford to run it without any type of billing. But I want to make sure that our citizens has a affordable rate than the suburbs that are getting. So we just want to make sure that it's affordable to our citizens, and the ones that can't afford it, make sure that they have some type of payment plans where they wouldn't have their water shut off, because no one shouldn't be living without any water.
What is your plan and position on abandoned properties like schools throughout the city of Detroit owned by the Land Bank Authority?
Well, the vacant schools, those schools could be used for some of these nonprofits that can provide services to our citizens, as well as these vacant homes. Make sure that our city residents have the first option to purchase these homes. There shouldn't be anyone in our city that's homeless or hungry. And that's the only way we can bring generational wealth back to our city as well as our citizens to make sure that they have a home that they will be able to leave to their families and their grands.
What's your position on the repayment of residents who have been overassessed and overpaid property taxes?
Well, for one, I'm one of those citizens that was overcharged. And budgetarily, I know it's impossible to pay the $600 million back at one time in a lump sum. But I would suggest a payment plan for over the next 3 to 5 years, depending on exactly how much was overassessed per resident, that their taxes will be reduced for the next 3 to 5 years until they have been recouped all the money that they were overcharged.
How would you enhance Detroit's neighborhoods, and which neighborhoods would be your priority? Any specific one?
Well, for one, the neighborhoods, there have been any type of support. We used to have a senior program, which we still do, but it has been reduced. And now we have loans for individuals that is based on your credit as well as your income. I want to make it affordable as well as available to all citizens, regardless of your income, so that if there's someone that can't afford to get their roof put on their home, or their steps is falling down, or they need new windows or weatherization of their homes, I want them to be able to qualify, as well as if they can't afford a $200 payment, whatever their income is, make it affordable for them so they can improve their home, and so that will improve the neighborhood as a whole.
What's your definition of police reform? Do you feel it's needed in Detroit? If so, in what ways? What is your position on facial recognition technology?
Well, police reform is needed. We have a great police department because I've been doing the police's budget since 2006, and we have the best training in the world for policing as well as fire. But for policing, I feel that we have to make sure that our police are held accountable. And for facial recognition, I'm not in a disagreement with it. I have been robbed at gunpoint 3 times, carjacked, house broken in. And if there's a way that they can solve these crimes and murders out here with facial recognition, I'm all for it. Long as they're not doing it to mess with no one's privacy, I don't have an issue with it. I just want to make sure that with the money that we are paying in overtime for these individuals, to our police officers, our men and women in blue, to solve these crimes, I want to make sure that they have every service, equipment that's needed to make sure that these crimes are being solved.
What do you see as the future of Detroit?
I want Detroit to be a city of peace. I want all this crime to end immediately. I want to make sure that our citizens are working so they wouldn't have to commit these crimes. Not saying there are some that's not committing crimes because that's something that they want to do, but the majority of the people that's out here committing crimes are trying to feed themselves and feed their families. So that's one of the things, make sure I have our city working so that can reduce crime. I want to make sure no one is out here homeless. I want Detroit to be the best city that I know it can be.
Why should Detroiters vote for you?
Detroiters should vote for me for one. I've born and raised here in the city of Detroit. My heart is with the city. And I've been working for the city of Detroit for 18 and a half years in the budget department. I know the operations of the city. I know the operations and functions of the departments. I know the budgets and where this money can and is being utilized. And I want to make a difference within our city as well as make sure the funding is going where it needs to go.